Welcome to the deep dive. Imagine, if you will, a command center. I mean, one so intricate, so powerful, it runs everything. Every single action, thought, sensation you experience.
Yeah, from the smallest blink to, solving a really complex problem, it's always there running the show.
It really is.
It's like the ultimate biological supercomputer. It's the very foundation of who you are, how you interact with everything. Without it, well, there's no you, really.
Absolutely. And today, you've asked us to take a deep dive into this, well, this incredible inner universe, your central nervous system, the CNS. We're gone through a really comprehensive source that breaks it all down, its core parts, its vital functions, what happens when things go wrong, and maybe most importantly, how you can keep it working well.
You're keeping it healthy.
Right. So our mission here is to distill all those insights, give you not just the facts, but some maybe genuinely surprising nuggets of knowledge. We want you to walk away feeling truly well-informed.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get started then. So to kick us off, at its most basic level, what is the central nervous system? Our source calls it the body's main processing center.
That's a really good way to put it. Fundamentally, the CNS is your brain and your spinal cord. Simple as that, component-wise.
Okay.
And they're called central because, while they form the main axis, they are the grand control hub.
Right.
Constantly taking in information from, your whole body, the outside world, and then sending out very specific instructions back out again.
And it connects to the peripheral nervous system, too.
No, absolutely. It's the crucial bridge. It connects to the peripheral system, which is what reaches out to, every limb, every organ.
I like the visual our source used here. It compared the CNS to a balloon, where the brain is the round part and the spinal cord is the string.
Yeah, that's a neat analogy.
What does that tell us about how these parts are protected? Because they sound delicate.
They are incredibly delicate, and that analogy works because it shows the form, but also implies that vulnerability. The source really stresses this.
Okay.
So the body has these elaborate protections. Your brain, it's inside the skull, like a fortress.
Right. Bone.
And the spinal cord runs down through your vertebrae, those segmented bones in your spine. But then there's more.
More layers.
Yep. 3 layers of protective membranes. They're called the meninges. They basically wrap around and cushion the brain and spinal cord.
Okay, like padding.
Exactly. And then the whole thing is floating, essentially, in cerebrospinal fluid. It's this clear liquid.
What does that do?
It gives even more shock absorption, cushions against bumps, and it helps deliver nutrients and remove waste. It's a really elegant, multi-layered defense system, for your absolute most vital organs.
Wow. Okay, so we have this incredibly well-protected control center.
Yeah.
Now, what does it actually do? What's its job description? Our source mentioned 3 main functions.
That's right. These 3 are, well, they're the bedrock of basically everything your body does, consciously or unconsciously.
What are they?
First, receive sensory information.
Yeah.
Second, process that information. The technical term is integration. And third, respond with motor output.
Receive, process, respond.
Exactly. And that loop, it's happening constantly, every millisecond. It never stops.
Can you give us a clear, maybe an everyday example, just to see that 3-step process in action?
Sure. Let's think about just picking up your coffee mug. Okay.
Right.
First, your sensory nerves gather information, where the mug is, maybe how hot it feels, how heavy it looks. That's the sensory input. Step 1.
Okay.
That info travels up, typically through the spinal cord, to your brain. Then, step 2, your brain integrates all that data.
Processes it.
Right. It figures out where the mug is relative to your hand, remembers how to pick up mugs, estimates the force needed, plans the best path for your hand.
So it's doing a lot of calculation quickly.
Very quickly, yes. Then, step 3. It sends out the motor command. Electrical signals shoot back down the spinal cord to the right muscles in your arm and hand.
Telling them what to do.
Precisely. Contract this way, relax that way.
Right.
Coordinated movement to reach, grasp, and lift the mug. That's your motor output.
That's a great example for a conscious action. But, what really struck me in the source material was how the CNS goes way beyond that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It also handles our thoughts, our feelings, and all those automatic things we don't even notice, like breathing, heartbeat, digestion. How does it manage all that without us, consciously directing it?
It's pretty incredible, isn't it? The same basic pathways are involved, but for these autonomic functions, the control is largely unconscious. It's handled by specific brain regions, like the brainstem, and reflexes in the spinal cord.
So it's like different departments in the control center.
Kind of, yeah. Your brain and spinal cord are in this constant dynamic conversation with every single part of your body. Signals are flying back and forth nonstop,
Wow.
both for the conscious stuff, like deciding to walk, and the silent, vital processes. It's this relentless flow of information, keeping everything balanced.
Which I guess raises the next point.
Exactly. With something so complex, so finely tuned, what happens when things go wrong, when the system runs into problems?
Right. Unfortunately, yeah, like any complex system, the CNS can face challenges. Our source listed quite a few common conditions.
It did, and they can be quite serious. We see a range of neurological issues, things like neurodegenerative diseases. Alzheimer's is a big one, ALS or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
Lou Gehrig's disease.
That's the one. Then you have things like brain tumors, inflammation like transverse myelitis, which affects the spinal cord.
Okay.
And of course, injuries, spinal cord trauma, traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, and vascular problems like strokes. All of these can really disrupt how the CNS works.
That's a wide range. So what are some of the key signs, the symptoms that might tell someone, or you listening, that their CNS might be affected? What should you look out for?
Well, the symptoms can be incredibly varied. It really depends on what part of the CNS is affected and how.
Makes sense.
But generally speaking, some things to watch for might include sudden muscle weakness or even paralysis, persistent dizziness or confusion, memory loss that's not easily explained,
Right.
involuntary movements like muscle twitches that won't stop, or severe headaches that are unusual for you.
What about sensations?
Yeah, things like tingling or numbness, especially in your arms or legs, that persists. Or seizures, of course, those are definitely major signs.
And the source mentioned some critical ones.
Yes, absolutely critical. It's stressed that if you or someone you know experiences symptoms like sudden confusion, maybe paralysis just on one side of the body, classic stroke signs, or if there's a head injury that affects vision, memory, or consciousness, you need immediate medical help. Don't wait.
Time is critical there.
Hugely critical.
So when someone does seek help, how do doctors actually look inside? How do they diagnose problems in this complex system?
They have some pretty sophisticated tools these days. Common diagnostic tests include things like CT scans, computed tomography. They give detailed X-ray pictures. There are EEGs, electroencephalograms, which measure the brain's electrical activity, the brain waves.
Right.
Lumbar punctures, often called spinal taps. That lets them analyze the cerebrospinal fluid check for infection, inflammation, other disease markers.
And imaging.
Yes, MRIs. Magnetic resonance imaging. These give incredibly detailed pictures of the soft tissue, so the brain and spinal cord itself. Really powerful.
Based on all that?
Based on those findings, yeah. The treatment plans are tailored to the individual. It might involve medications, sometimes surgery, different kind of rehab, physical therapy, occupational therapy to manage pain or restore function, and often supportive care to help with quality of life.
Okay. So we've covered what the CNS is, what it does, the challenges it can face, how it's diagnosed, which brings us to the really practical part. How can you, listening right now, actively support your CNS? Keep it healthy.
Right.
Our source made a really strong point here. It said, because the CNS connects to every part of your body, if you stay in good health, your CNS will feel good too.
That statement is key. It really highlights the interconnectedness. It's not just about avoiding specific neurological diseases. It's about proactively nurturing this master system through overall wellness.
Yeah, it's not separate.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And the research really backs this up. It shows how general wellness habits directly translate into specific benefits for your neurons, for brain function. It makes a holistic approach, not just, a nice idea, but a biological necessity.
Let's break down some of those concrete steps from the source. Physically, it talks about eating healthy foods, staying hydrated, regular exercise, managing any underlying health conditions, protecting yourself from injury. How do these specifically help the CNS?
Great question. Let's take diet. Eating foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, staying hydrated, this directly supports the health of your nerve cells, their ability to communicate. It helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, which are linked to decline.
Okay, so food is literally brain fuel and protection.
You could say that, yes. And exercise, it's not just for your muscles. Regular physical activity is a potent driver of neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells, especially in areas important for memory like the hippocampus. Exercise also boosts blood flow to the brain, which improves cognitive function, mood,
and managing other conditions, like diabetes.
Crucial, because conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, if they're not controlled, can damage the small blood vessels that supply the brain. This increases your risk of stroke, vascular dementia, general cognitive decline.
Right. And injury prevention seems obvious, but
But vital. Wearing a helmet for sports, being careful to avoid falls, preventing direct trauma is paramount. Brain and spinal cord injuries can have devastating permanent effects.
makes sense. Now, what I also found really interesting was the strong focus on mental health. Our CNS manages thoughts and feelings, so how does taking care of our mental well-being actually benefit the brain and spinal cord physically?
It's a direct, powerful link. When you actively manage stress, take time to rest, relax, you're reducing the flood of chronic stress hormones like cortisol.
Which are bad.
In excess, yes. Chronic stress can actually damage brain cells, impair memory, negatively affect mood regulation. So relaxation isn't an indulgence, it's neurological maintenance.
And sleep. The source mentions sleep.
Oh, sleep is non-negotiable for the CNS. That's when your brain does its essential housekeeping. It consolidates memories, repairs cellular damage, clears out metabolic waste products that build up during the day.
Like taking out the trash.
Exactly. Lack of quality sleep disrupts all of that. Then there's social connection, spending time with people you care about. That releases neurotransmitters like oxytocin.
The cuddle hormone.
Sort of, yeah. It fosters connection, reduces feelings of loneliness, which studies show can negatively impact brain health over time.
And the source also listed things like setting goals, having boundaries, doing enjoyable activities, and learning new things. These aren't just lifestyle tips, are they?
Not at all. They're active brain support. Engaging in hobbies you enjoy, setting achievable goals that gives you a sense of purpose, boosts dopamine, which is key for motivation, learning, reward.
And boundaries.
Setting healthy boundaries helps you manage your emotional load, prevents burnout, reduces that chronic stress response we talked about.
Okay. And learning new things, like what we're doing right now.
Precisely. Learning new skills, new information.
Yeah.
It's like exercise for your brain. It stimulates neuroplasticity.
Which is?
The brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself, to form new connections between neurons throughout your entire life. It's not just about storing facts. It's about keeping your brain flexible, adaptable, resilient against decline.
Wow. So listening to this deep dive is actually good for your CNS.
It genuinely could be. Engaging your mind is key.
What an incredible journey through the central nervous system. Really. From its sturdy protection to its constant multitasking, running every conscious move and every silent heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's just a marvel of biology. It defines so much of who we are.
It truly does. And as we've discussed, keeping it healthy isn't just about, avoiding a specific injury or disease. It's so deeply woven into your overall physical and mental health.
Yeah.
So that holistic approach, taking care of the whole self, it really is the best strategy for nurturing this amazing system.
It makes you think. That point about learning new things being good for the CNS, it really makes you wonder if our curiosity, that human drive to understand, to explore things deeply like this, maybe it isn't just something our amazing CNS lets us do.
Interesting thought.
Maybe it's actually one of the fundamental things the CNS needs to thrive. Like, the more we actively feed our minds, the more we're actually strengthening the very control system that makes us, us.
That's an excellent thought to leave you with. Perhaps our pursuit of knowledge isn't just a function of the brain, but actually a vital part of its ongoing care, a way it maintains itself.
Something to ponder. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep nurturing that incredible system that makes you, you.